Hi guys, and welcome to this class where our focus is going to be all on the legs, the hips and our lower body. So you may want a couple of props for this class just to keep yourself supported if you do feel like you are a bit tight today or need a little bit more help and assistance into the postures. So we're first going to start with a couple of blocks. So you'll want 2 of these if you have them. If you don't have them, some hardback books also help, nice thick ones, like the old school Harry Potter and all the old school dictionaries and stuff like that. Feel free to grab those if you want. And alternatively, later on, we're going to be using a pigeon pose. So if you want a rolled up blanket or towel, whatever feels more comfortable for you to rest your hip on, then go ahead and grab that. And I'll meet you back in the mat where we'll start in a seated position today. So whenever you're ready, get all your stuff and come back and join me. Welcome back. I hope you've got your stuff and you feel prepared. Whenever you're ready, just get yourself in a comfortable seat, either sitting on cushion, blanket, blocks, whatever you have to hand. Just use any props that you have to keep yourself supported. And I'd mainly tell you and advise you to sit on something if you're feeling really rounded in your lower back and it's feeling a little bit too curved, so all that pressure is going onto that lower back. If you can sit tall and elongate your spine, then you're all good. Otherwise, take a little support under those hips. And then whenever you're ready, bringing the hands down onto your lap, your knees, wherever they feel comfortable. And start taking some nice deep breaths, breathing deeply into our belly, into our chest, our shoulders. Exhale and sigh it all out through your mouth and let it all go. Maybe let the eyes come to a close. And just taking this time just to settle ourselves in. Bringing your body into a sense of calm and release as you exhale. And just drop away the shoulders, the hips, the legs, and get yourself settled. And then starting to move your awareness into the physical. Noticing any ailments, any tension and tight spots you may have. And not trying to change ourselves so much, but just noticing where we need to be kind, where we have space. And then starting to shift your awareness over into your emotional side. How are you feeling right now? Is there any dominant emotions in the surface today? Is there anything there that's just lingering that you feel you can instantly let go with those exhales? And just release whatever is no longer serving you or holding you back. And then shifting your awareness over into the mind, checking in with yourself and the thoughts. Whether the thoughts are fast, slow, you have a dominant thought there in the surface, just simply noticing, observing. As we just give ourselves a final few breaths here. Sat in this space, feeling completely at ease. As we just take one more breath here. And a big audible sigh out through your mouth. Like a wave. All the tension just washes over the body. And then let's take our hands into our heart center. Just bring in our awareness into the reason we came to the mat today. What is our purpose? What drew us to this practice? Maybe you're feeling quite tight. Maybe you have strong emotions at the moment. All connected to our hips, our legs. So let's give ourselves one more breath here just to remind ourselves of that intention. Exhale to let go of anything that doesn't serve it, doesn't help. And then bringing your hands down wherever you are. Hands can come down onto the lap, onto the knees. Maybe take the legs out, give yourself a little windshield wiper of the hips as you take the knees over to one side, stretching out the outside of the leg. And then take it to the other side, swapping direction. Don't worry if the knees don't reach the floor, that's okay. Just listen to your body and go with your space. Move in a couple more times. And just getting yourself nice and settled and comfortable. Easing those hips, any tension in your lower back. Beautiful. And then bringing ourselves back into that comfortable cross leg. We'll bring our hands down onto the knee or the shins. Just play around with which feels more comfortable for you. And then from here, we're going to hold on to the legs and slowly roll the shoulders back and guide the heart forwards and lift the gaze. Seated cat-cows as we exhale. Curl back onto our tailbone. Separate out the shoulder blades, dropping your gaze down to your navel. Taking one or two more breaths here. And then exhaling it out completely. Giving ourselves this breather. Beautiful. And then taking a moment here, let's sit up tall. Take our right hand out to the side. And inhale, sweep the left arm up to the ceiling. Really reach up. And then on your exhale, leaning over into that right hand. Side stretch into our left side body. Giving ourselves a moment here to just open up into that left rib cage, the left armpit. And then inhale, take it all the way up through the center. Drop the left hand down. And then inhale, bring the right arm up, reach tall. And then exhale, lean it over. You can get elbow down if you have that space. Deepening your breath. Allowing your sit bones to stay grounded. And then inhale, sweep it all the way up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into a tabletop position, bringing the hands and wrists under the shoulders. Bringing the knees underneath your hips. Taking any cushioning underneath the knees if you need, under the wrists. And just drawing your belly button in here. Inhale. Exhale completely. And then on our inhale, we'll curl the tailbone up to the ceiling, roll the shoulders back and gaze forward. And as we exhale, round into the spine, tuck the tailbone under.
Press into the floor, separate out the shoulder blades and drop your gaze down to your navel. Taking 1 or 2 more rounds here at your own pace. And then bringing ourselves into that tabletop position. We're going to bring that right foot forwards. First variation, the foot just goes behind the right wrist into a 90-90 low lunge here. Sinking your hips down. Another alternative, going a little deeper, walking that foot between the hands. Sinking your hips down, making sure the knee stacks over the ankle, the foot. And you want to be mindful here that your heel isn't peeling off the ground. If it is, then give yourself that space. And if you need blocks at this point and you feel the floor is really far away, then you can take the blocks. Equally so, if you need more access, i.e. you're way too much leaning onto your legs and there's not enough space there, you can just find those blocks to open up a little bit further. Stretching out that left quad, your left hip. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. Deepening your breath and softening your gaze. And then from here, taking that left hand down and keep it on the block or the floor. We're going to inhale and open the right arm up to the ceiling, giving ourselves a little twist here. And if you feel like going a little bit further while we rest for a few breaths, you can come onto that left knee, pull your foot in towards your glute and grab a hold. Bring your bind into a deeper stretch in the front of your leg. Beautiful. Take in 1 or 2 more breaths here. You have this. And then from here, releasing the back toes if you went for the bind. Bringing the right hand back down if you went for the twist. And then we're going to shift the hips back into a half split. So just slowly walking the heel forwards a little bit on that right foot if you need it. Maintaining on those blocks and just bringing the hands under the shoulders for your first variation. If you need a softness to the knee, take it. Give it a little bend if it's too intense on your hamstring. Otherwise, a nice straighter leg. Inhale as we draw the belly button in, lengthen out our spine. And as we exhale, we'll forward fold. And feel free to remove blocks. If you need more stability, a bit more outwards as well, creating a Y shape. Breathing into that hamstring. It's a short class, but it's a powerful one, getting all those lower body muscles, the place where we hold on to a lot of our tightness and our tension. So we just take 1 more breath here, taking a nice deep inhale, drawing the belly button in, lengthen through the chest, and as we exhale to your maximum depth. And then inhale, walk the hands back into the top of the mat and bring that right knee back to meet the left into our tabletop position. Moving straight into the other side. So bringing the left foot forwards, staying in that 90-90 if that's where you're at today. If you're not there or you want to go further, you can walk the foot between the hands. Sink the hips a little bit lower. You may need to shimmy your feet around a little bit, adjust, move things around. Taking 1 more breath or 2 here. If you need the blocks, feel free to take them under your hands, as always. Just modify for your practice. This is all for you. This is not for anyone else. Remind yourself of that as you practice your yoga. This is your own journey, your own healing. And then from here, we're going to take the right hand down and inhale, sweep the left arm up into that twist. So you can keep the fingers extending long up towards the ceiling, or you can come onto that right knee, pull the right foot in towards the glute, reach around and grab a hold of your toes, your foot, breathing through it, sinking your hips. Really feeling that stretch going all the way down from your right hip down to your right knee and all the muscle between. As we give ourselves 1 or 2 more breaths here, you've got this. And then from here, releasing your foot down, bringing the hands either side of your foot. Transition through that tabletop position. Inhale there, curl your toes under, and then exhale, lift the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Allowing your gaze to be back towards the toes, pushing into your upper body, your hands pressed firmly into the ground. And then maybe pedaling out the legs, bending one leg, straightening the other. Taking this time, you've got this, you're amazing. Remind yourself of that. You've taken this time to come to the mat, face whatever you need to face, whatever has drawn you here today. And then from here, we'll step our feet forwards to the front of our mat. Take as many steps as you need. Separate them out about hip distance apart. Inhaling here to come into a flat back. Hold on the shins if you need. And then exhale, forward fold, down we go. Holding on to opposite elbows. Finding our ragdoll position here. Allowing ourselves just to hang. Allow the arms just to dangle. Allow the neck muscles to disengage. Letting the shoulders soften. Let the legs elongate. Taking 1 more breath here. And then on your next inhale, we'll round ourselves up to a stand, letting our head come up last. Slowly, slowly does it. Rolling our shoulders back. Rolling out the wrists. Getting ourselves ready for a sun salutation here. Just taking 1 today. As we inhale, sweep the arms up over the head. And exhale, forward fold into that forward fold. Reaching to the ground, the blocks, your feet, whatever you can. Inhale, find your flat back. Hold the shins, the calf muscles. And lift yourselves up. And then exhale, plant your hands down, coming into a plank, either on the knees or on the toes. Inhale, finding that tucked tailbone. Exhale, lower the knees if you need to, chaturanga. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Cobra, as deep as you can get there. And exhale, finding your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. And then from here, we're going to bring the right knee forwards. And then we're going to turn the shin onto a diagonal. So opening the knee out to the right and then spinning the left foot out, the foot to the left. And then we're going to place the shin down, the knee down. And then we're going to shimmy that back knee back a little bit until you get to a depth that you feel good with. Now, this is why I said get a blanket, something softer for your hips to rest on. You can take that blanket and just place it as thick as you need it underneath those hips. So you can sit down and you don't necessarily need anything under that left hip. It's just the right glute, giving yourself some support. If you need a bit more, take a block as well. From here, taking your inhale, as we start to lengthen our breath. And then as we exhale, if it feels comfortable, surrender down into a sleeping pigeon. Bringing the forearms down. You can take the forehead down onto a mat or a block, whichever one you need, wherever you can reach. And equally so, if it just feels more comfortable to keep the head lifted, then you stay there. Wherever you are, just deepen your breath. Allow yourself to soften into the stretch. As we just rest here for 1 or 2 more breaths. Last one. And then on your inhale, we'll very slowly bring ourselves back. We're going to swing this left leg around to the front now. So you can stay seated on your blanket if you like. I'm just going to turn to face you guys so you can see me. We're going to keep that right foot and shin in front. And then we're going to try and bring this left foot over onto that right knee into a double pigeon. So for some of us, we may be here. If you've got tight hips, then you can stay there. You can also take a block underneath, just place it on top of the foot, give yourself some extra support so the knee doesn't go beyond its comfort, doesn't over-exert the hip. Taking a deep breath wherever you are as we inhale, and then wherever you are, whatever depth, you may exhale and just bring the hands forwards in front of the shin. If that doesn't feel comfortable, stay there, just rest. And if this still doesn't feel comfortable, we're just going to take a hold of the foot and just give it a little hug into the chest. Working ourselves into a little hip opener here, but it's less pressure on that bottom knee, it's less pressure on your ankle, and it helps just protect your joints a little bit more until you have that mobility in your joints and your hips and your lower body. As we just take 1 or 2 more breaths, whichever depth and variation you've chosen to take today. Taking a last breath here, inhale deeply. And exhale. And then we'll bring ourselves back around. We're going to make ourselves back into that downward facing dog. So take the hands in front, bring the heels out to the side. Step back into that tabletop. And then curl your toes under. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Repeating on the other side now. We're going to bring the left foot forwards and then diagonal the shin, and then place the shin, the knee, the foot down, and then slowly get into that depth that feels good for you. And again, you can bring a blanket, whatever you need to go underneath that left glute to support it, to basically just sit on. Just go ahead and take that. Inhaling wherever you are, and then exhale, maybe lowering down into that sleepy pigeon. And if you don't feel like you need any support, then you don't need to take it. Just allow gravity to help you out here as you soften your breath and you surrender yourself. We just rest ourselves here for a few more breaths. Taking a last breath here. And then we'll bring ourselves onto that left hip, just roll it over to the side and swing this right leg forwards, bringing it to the front, getting ourselves ready for that double pigeon. So walking this right foot, up a little bit, just giving it a little hug, checking in for your mobility there, your flexibility, and then dropping the foot down onto the knee. Flexing the foot to keep your joints all protected. And if you want, you're working your bottom shin to be in line with the top one. And you can just rest here, even elbows resting down on the leg to help gravity get you a little deeper here, a little bit of extra heavy weight to help open those hips. And while you're here, softening your glutes, softening your hips, and deepening your breath, going as far as feels comfortable for you. Taking any props, any supports that you may need. Don't feel ashamed if you want to use those or you feel you have to use them. Some days, even I need to use props and give myself that extra support when I'm feeling particularly tight. So just give ourselves a moment here. And then on your next inhale, let's bring it all the way up into that seat. Extend your legs long in front. Getting ready for a seated forward fold. So wiggling your hips out, just giving yourself a long spine. Soften your knees if you need any space, even if you've got a rolled up blanket, take it underneath the knees for something to rest them on, to keep them nice and soft so you don't lock them out, especially if you're hypermobile in your joints. Taking a deep inhale as we lengthen through the spine. And then as we exhale, we'll just forward fold over our legs, giving our hamstrings a last little stretch here. Deepening your breath as you rest. Disengaging your quads, your glutes. Keeping that belly button drawn in. As we take one final breath here. And then inhale. Take it all the way up through the center, moving any props out the way for now, as you don't need them. We're going to roll down onto our backs. So centering yourself on so you're not going to hit the floor. And then give your knees a little hug here. Massage out your lower back, maybe drawing some little circles with the knees. Rocking back and forth anywhere you feel some tightness, some tension. And then planting your left foot down. We'll inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling, holding onto your calf muscle, the ankle, maybe even bringing your hands to the foot, giving yourself a really nice stretch here into your hamstring and your calf muscle. Taking one or two more breaths here. And then you can keep a straight leg here if you want, grabbing hold of the outside of the right foot with the left hand, and then taking the right arm out to the side. We'll inhale, and then exhale, roll over onto your left hip. Let the left leg fall down, and then let the right leg come all the way over into a supine twist with an additional hamstring stretch. Trying to keep your right shoulder pressing down into the floor. And if you need at this point to bend that right knee and just hold on to the outside of the right knee instead. This is a modification you can take. And don't worry about the knee getting close to the floor. Just focus on that stretch going on in the leg, your hip, and that twist going on in your belly, your abdominals. Taking one more breath here. And then bringing that knee in, slowly bringing ourselves back. Hugging both knees into the chest, give yourself a cuddle. And then planting the right foot down and extending that left leg long, single leg stretch, grabbing a hold wherever you can. Stretching out our hamstrings, our calf muscles. Just resting here for 1 or 2 more breaths. You've got this. And then from here, inhale, windmill. Switch the grip around so the right hand comes to the outside of the left foot, and then windmill open into your left arm. As we exhale, rolling over onto the right hip, let the right leg fall over, and then let the left leg just lower wherever feels comfortable. Just taking ourselves for a moment here. Slowing your breath down. Hollowing out your belly. Twisting deep into your stomach, into all your digestive organs. You got this. As we take 1 more breath. And then inhale, bring it all the way up. And then lower your foot down. Optional Shavasana is to bring the feet together and open the knees out wide. You can take cushions under the knees if you want. Otherwise, if you want to go for a more traditional Shavasana, extend the legs long and a little wider than hip distance. But wherever you are, take the hands out to the side where the palms face up to the ceiling. As we rest ourselves here just for a final minute or so. Allowing your hip flexors to soften. Don't worry if the feet slip a bit. Taking a deep inhale wherever you are. And exhale. Sigh it all out. And as you exhale, feel your body surrendering, getting heavier. Feeling yourself melting down into the ground. Softening the legs, the hips, your glutes. Into your upper body, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists. And then softening your face, the jaw, the cheeks, the eyes, the eyebrows. Just enjoying 1 or 2 final breaths here. And wherever you are, start to elongate your breath. Fill the belly, the chest, the lungs. Big audible sigh out through your mouth. Let it go. Wiggling your fingers, your toes. Maybe stretch the arms long over your head. Stretch the legs long, moving slowly. Inhale in there. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and give yourself that full body hug. And then rolling over onto your side, taking a breath there in a fetal position. And then very slowly with a helping hand, making your way back into that comfortable seat. Closing the eyes. Giving yourself a moment in that Sukhasana easy seat. Just checking in with how you feel right now. And then bring in your hands to the heart, reminding yourself of what brought you to the mat today. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, bow your head down to your heart, whispering namaste to yourself. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good class. You feel good. You feel stretched out. You feel balanced. And I'll see you next time.